Hello, everyone. I'm back again for this week call-in show. I'm JK. Welcome to Stop Now, a social experiment enterprise. Stop, listen, share. This is a game show, so you all are welcome to call in and have fun with me, right? We will play out this truth or dare game, and then we will have some conversations and enjoy the time. So here we go. Before we begin with any callers, I would like to share some update from the last week. Since we are doing some social experiment here on the weekdays, and those experiments are being recorded, and we try to replay those things during our call-in show, and also based on those interesting videos we will ask questions to the callers, or we might ask something else as well. So be prepared, watch our YouTube channel and join us to enjoy the show. Hopefully someone from my team will join today, and also we got exciting volunteers who have been helping us for a long time, and they might as well join and share some of their interesting stories and facts. So we had a wonderful time this week, and I want to play that out before any callers call in. So let's begin with that. This was
Experiment
2
time.
weeks before.
So
Playing
we
that out.
are having a Scrum Master role interview for JK Guru with Cognizant again. Hi. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you?
Yes, I can hear you, Jairaj. Good evening. Jairaj, meantime, right, as we speak, can you turn on your camera? It is the compliance check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is it you alone or somebody else is going to join?
No, it is
Just you. Okay.
Yep. So be comfortable and let's talk through your experience as a Scrum Master. Because I'm seeing in your profile, you have PMP, I mean, working experience as a Scrum Master as well as a project manager, right?
Yes, that's right.
So I would like to know what is your choice if given both the opportunities, because I actually have both the opportunities, right? So walk me through your Scrum Master experience, if that is your preference, right? If his preference is project manager over the Scrum Master, then we can take a different route. Okay. You have any questions? Because they don't want to have monopoly of any of the vendors and then cross geographies. So it is just not India and US, but we have folks sitting in Manila as well as Middle East.
Oh.
So those are the dynamics we still don't know which train, which folks will belong to, right? But there are multiple openings for PM as well as for Scrum Master role. So that is what I can tell right now. So AIG is big time in North Carolina. That's one thing. But there are multiple positions and multiple roles they have stated. And I can confirm you that if we move to the next stage, right?
Okay. So, yeah.
Do you have any location constraints though?
No. I just wanted to know which location. Based on that, I need to prepare, right? So if you say that in the next 2 weeks, you have to relocate to some other location.
No, so nobody's asking to relocate at least for next few months.
Okay. That's fine.
But the locations are Houston, Woodland Hills, or Farmington, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. That's all. So there will be a client round, right? So is that what you're saying?
Yes, we'll take a look at the profiles and then we'll shortlist the candidates and then we'll set up client rounds.
Oh, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Take care. Bye. This is a telephonic interview for the Scrum Master role for JK with Wells Fargo. Hello?
Hello? Hi, is this Gail?
Yes.
Giraj?
Yes, that's
Did I
right.
get it right?
Yeah.
I was trying to call. I couldn't get through to you. Um, Thanks for meeting with me. I wanted to take some time just to talk about a new position that we have and go over some questions that we have for you, and then we can answer any questions that you may have, and we can go from there. Does that work for you?
Yeah, sure.
All right, fantastic. I was wondering if you could just start by telling me a little bit about yourself and your background, and just to help me get up to speed with your resume, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Okay.
For 3 years, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, good. That's fantastic. And some of the projects that you worked on, we're really interested in the customer-facing websites. Projects related to customer-facing websites. So, what we do here at Wells Fargo is, or our group, I should say, we're what we call the strategic and digital innovations area of the company. And so, if you go to wellsfargo.com, or if you use your mobile device, that's the stuff that we do. That's where we are, making all that functionality available to our customers. And so, can you tell me a little bit about some of the customer-facing website work that you have done in the past, just stuff that that customers actually utilize? So I have on my list here. What kind of questions can I answer for you? Yeah. So this particular role that we're looking at, let's see, this is a Scrum Master position that we're talking to you about, right? We've got a couple positions open, and for this position, it's really going to be working with the secure site session. Or secure site is basically when you log into your online banking account, there are things you can do within online banking, and some of our customers want to make modifications to their account. We're trying to add enhancements to be able to allow them to do things themselves online. That's one good example. Other good examples are maybe some regulatory issues that we need to fix. It could be, I can't go into the details, but just to give you some ideas about whatever the regulatory item is, it's something that may have to get fixed by a certain time period, stuff like that we work on. They're really kind of a smaller item, if you will. It could be some tools that allow us to do something better than what we're doing by making those tools and putting it into place. So that's some other good examples. I don't know if that helps you or not, but that's the area that we would need, that we're actually looking for, is for somebody to be able to do online work with a team that's actually to help and drive a team that's actually doing work for our online customers. So that's I don't know if that helps you or not, but that's the assignment.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
What other questions do you have? Once we're finished with that, we'll make a decision, and that's our next step. So we'll follow up with Chris, and once we're done with this first round, and we'll make that decision to go to the second round, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for meeting with me. Have a great day. We'll talk to you very soon.
Sure. You too. Have a good day.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye now.
Hopefully, I think I will try to play that out in a better format, because I myself cannot clearly hear in the live. So what that was a client, Thermo Fisher, and through Insight Global. And the interesting part is, before the interview, they were trying to give me some tips and prep me up for who will be doing it and how to clear the interview, as if like I'm new to this and they want like to facilitate that. Some interesting thing happened in that. You can watch that out. Maybe I will play that out in a short while. Let me try, like, if anyone joins, and then like we will go from there.
The group at Thermo Fisher, since some of the groups are not necessarily software groups, these are scientists or people in regulatory roles, and they're not necessarily software savvy. So he would want to hear how a Scrum Master would approach, these, meetings with people that are not software savvy, are not, they don't really understand sprints or, the nature of the software development lifecycle, or maybe they're just not as in tune or maybe indifferent to it, how a Scrum Master would approach those types of, people, how would he organize everything and everything like that. Again, lots of situational questions about, times that you ran into really difficult timelines or difficult situations and how you overcame it. And just giving specific examples of, times at your roles where things were not going according to plan, that situation was far from ideal, and how you, addressed it, how you removed impediments, how you resolved issues with certain groups or engineers, and came through on the other end, and what you learned from it. I think that's going to be really important to him. Is just hearing how you've gone through like worst case situations and turned them into the best possible outcome. So so far, does all that kind of make sense a little bit?
Yes.
Perfect, awesome. Can you think of specific situations where maybe times were less than ideal during some of your roles or positions? Perfect, sounds good. And do you feel, I know you have yourself, you are actually a pretty technical person, or that's how you kind of began your career and then joined kind of the Scrum Master field. So I think that'll make you a really good candidate. And if you want to kind of touch on that as well, and note that you do have a technical background, you've been a technical team lead, you have management experience, so you probably do know how to organize groups of people. I think that's what attracted him to your resume. So I think those are good things to point out as well. Then the meeting should be about 45 minutes long. He's going to go again through a lot of those situational questions. Like, so say you're with a group of people and they're doing this or doing that, they're not software people, they're pretty difficult to work with, they don't really understand this, like how would you go about it? Bringing up specific examples. If something like that has never happened to you, you can just say that hasn't happened, but this is how I would personally approach that problem. I think would be good. And then just general interview tips, just making sure you click on the link beforehand to make sure you don't have to download anything. And if you do, you already have it downloaded. Joining a little bit ahead of schedule, maybe a few minutes before. I'll open up the room then. Making sure you're dressed professionally from the waist up. No, distractions in the background, nothing loud. And then, just answering the questions as concisely as possible, and, giving specific examples. And then at the end, having some questions prepared, I think would be good too. And just kind of asking him maybe like, what are some current impediments? What are some current, obstacles with the group, and how would this position, remedy that, would be a good question. And then just thinking about, if there are any people on the team that do what he does, do what you are going to do, how are they doing it, and what makes them good at their job, I think are good questions too. But any questions you have, I think, are great to ask at the end. I'm sure you do have some, so he'll be more than happy to answer them for you. The guest himself as an interviewer is very straightforward, really straight to the point. And if he feels like you don't understand the question, he'll frame it in a different way, and he'll really help, phrase it in a different way and things like that. He's pretty helpful, but very straight to the point. So that's just his communication style. But that's kind of really all I have. Was any of this helpful? I just want to make sure we're giving you good advice and good things to prepare you.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. I'll update you like once I'm done. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll be there in the meeting room just to facilitate. And then once your meeting's over, Aubrey will give you a call, collect your feedback, since that's just as important as collecting theirs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll go ahead and collect it from him, and then we'll talk about steps moving forward and give you a call then. Sorry, we were kind of blowing up your phone, but we're like, oh my gosh, we really want to make sure everyone's prepared before they interview, because if we have information that they don't know, we want them to know it, right? So thank you for taking the time to chat. Do you have any questions so far for me?
No, we are good.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll see you soon. I'll let you prepare, and we'll chat in a little bit.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
So that is how she almost uh, bored me to death uh, by giving a long lecture on how to handle the client, and that was really fun. And I really got mad with one other vendor, K Foods, which I wanted to play that out at a later time. And this is where we are trying to do this experiment and expose all that is happening. Even before doing the submission, we discussed this about, and they are verifying the validity of the candidate. Like they are asking for the GC copy if we say GC, and also like they one other client, you all know that Silicon Valley Bank, they did the background verification, credit check, and all those things. I really don't know how this is going to play out, because for my understanding, I'm very sure and clear that those are illegal, and people will get into trouble if we go in the route of legal suing them like for discrimination and having illegal practices. That being said, let me play out this final part of the interview, which is kind of a edited version, 5 minutes, and she was nice. I mean, she was prepping up and giving some comfort zone to the candidate before the call of the actual interview. Let's watch that out.
How are you?
Hi, Gabriella. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for asking. Sorry if you hear my puppy in the background. She's loud. I'm gonna mute myself soon.
All right. No worries.
How was your weekend?
It's good. How about you?
Good. It was my mom's birthday, so we did a little something for her. But it's hard having a birthday on Easter for her. Everywhere was busy, so we. What about you? Did you do anything?
Not special.
Nothing special.
Normal.
Yeah, I know. It's hard with COVID. Are you where you're at? Is there a lot of things open or not really?
Yeah, most of the things are open. I mean, Texas is pretty much ready to go.
Yeah. Are you?
Only thing
do
is,
you
like,
stay at home a lot, or are you going out and stuff like with a mask on?
No, I stay home. Like I
Stay home? Yeah. It's easy now. There's so many food delivery services. It's so easy to stay home.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Saket is going to be here in a few minutes. He said his previous meeting is running a little bit late, but he's going to be here soon. So once he's on here, I'll just go ahead, go off video, mute myself. But we'll be good to go from there. How are your other interviews going? Going pretty well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. The virtual interviews, it's created a whole new world. I like it better because if you had an interview in person, do you remember like you have to like freak out about like parking and finding a place somewhere and making sure you're at the right building and everything?
Yeah.
Now you just click on the link and you're just there.
Exactly.
And then you've been working with Aubrey, right? Aubrey is your recruiter.
Yeah, that's right.
Aubrey and I are pretty close. She's one of my good friends here out of the San Francisco office. Do you know if she's already done your references or not?
I think she did. I'm not sure. Like, let me check.
And we do all that. We do the managerial references. And we include that with the application during the interview process so that it'll be like, hey, like, look at all this good stuff JP's manager had to say about him. And then we use that to bolster your application. So I think she has
Okay.
them done. If not, it's okay. We'll get them done at some point. Can you hear my dog in the background?
Yes.
Oh my God. She's a puppy. She's only like 9 weeks old. So she's really, really annoying. I'm thinking of
Did-
going.
Is it possible like he wants to reschedule or something? Like, I don't
He's
think.
right. I'm
Is
admitting
that
him in right now.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Saket.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, good. How about you?
Great. I'll let you introduce yourself to JK, and I'll just be here on standby if you guys need anything, and then we'll all sync up after.
Hey, hi, good morning. Hi, JK. Good morning.
Hi. Yeah. How are you? I'm good.
Good. How about you?
I'm fine.
So, basically, we are looking for a Scrum Master slash configuration management expert. So, just to give you a brief introduction about our project and myself, I'm Saket Mishra. I'm currently programming lead, actually engineering lead, not more than programming for Amplitude system, which is one of the systems from our GSD division of Thermo Fisher Scientific. So this is basically a product where we are currently doing the COVID-19 testing. It's a big system. It has like subcomponents of different systems doing different functions like extraction of the samples and then preparing the PCR, and then all the way till the analysis test, which gives out the results, whether it's a positive, negative, no call. So kind of like mostly it's not confined only to software. It's more than software. It's about systems engineering, plus molecular biology. There are different teams which are contributing towards this cause. And the issue we currently have is a couple of things. We are trying to bring the Jira practices into this ecosystem of COVID testing, where most of the people are not familiar with it. So I was kind of managing the Jira board, but it's getting overwhelming because whatever features we are targeting for future sprints or future releases, on top of it, we are getting these like different software change requests, which are typically the field issues coming from field or for the existing customers. So managing that is becoming difficult. And then second part is configuration management. Most of the onus is going on the R&D team, who are not so familiar with scripting or with maintaining the GitHub repositories, maintaining the source control. So that is a challenge. So wanted to see what's your experience around that area in the past from your previous projects, and how you can help our project currently.
And then the last couple of years, I was working as a Scrum Master facilitating. And moreover, the project you explained, it looks like quite exciting. And since it is like more related to the current pandemic, and I'm interested like how I can be helpful and impactful to the team on that. So as you said,
as well as maintaining the Jira, both the things, like
yeah,
the role of Scrum Master, populating the user stories, effects in a detailed way, so that it's developable and testable at the same time.
okay,
And and kind of like doing some of the version control activities as well, monitoring the version control that the team does it correctly. We do the pull request. We make sure that the pull request or whatever changes are being made are aligning correctly with the SCRs or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think I can pretty much confident that like I'll do a good job on that. But let me ask you this: like how far they are in the agile mindset? Like, is the Scrum Master plays dual role, or is it like the team as a product owner and the Scrum team is familiar of the Scrum ceremonies? Do you guys do all those things, or is it like
No,
just ad hoc?
It's pretty loosely coupled. It's not like we are like religiously following Scrum ceremonies and all. We don't have like such sprint planning process and all. We don't even expect that. I mean, I do have my own team. So as I told, we have like different teams. So we have different software components. One is like sample manager, which does the LIMS part. The second is work manager, which is like within the system controlling the entire modules, which have different instruments. So my team does that, and I'm kind of like following it. But now with being an engineering lead,
I'm supposed to drive the entire like software functionalities, connect different modules, but they are not following it. So I want to hire somebody who can actually do that for me. That's the part I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. I mean, I'm good.
Weekly, twice a week sprint meeting, and sometimes we do plan activities in the sprint, but it's not like upfront planned because we don't know, right? Currently, what the scope of this amplitude is, how long. We know at least like we can extend it for about a year, in terms of different diseases and all whatnot they are going to come. But yeah, that's a challenge right now we have. And then there is a lot of systems engineering team work focusing towards putting in these scripts, versioning, and all. They don't have proper version control because they are the ones who are actually writing the scripts where instruments are interacting with each other. So yeah, can you briefly tell what was your experience in the past in such kind of like, or have you worked in such kind of environment before, or how did you kind of manage your Scrum board plus version control at the same time, since you already have an engineering experience? Okay, I see. So how would you handle such challenges where kind of like we have something which is planned in the sprint, and then there are different requests coming in from different sources, and your sprint is kind of like getting overpopulated? What would you do in such cases, and both become a priority for you? What is there in the sprint, and even what comes like from different field issues or something like that. So how would you, can you give an instance that this happened, and then how was your approach towards handling these kind of like situations, both to be prioritized? So how would you actually, business would kind of like pitch in saying, no, this is a priority for our existing customers, but we as a team know that for the the near future or whatever we are going to do, and as planned in the sprint, if we take this priority, then that gets an impact, and that impact might sometimes be crucial. It might kind of like delay the needs of the business in future. So how would you kind of weigh in that option? What tools do you use to manage the sprint? Differentiate.
So this guy annoyed me so much that you can see that like as if he's giving an interview, he kept on talking and I lost interest and kept asking the same question over and over. So I got pissed off, and it was a fake interview I'm giving, so I just don't know like how to even not to answer. So I just disconnected the call, like saying that like, okay, fine, I'm dropping it off. But what happened was, funny thing is, they are so desperate and they keep messaging me, and the recruiter kept calling me again. We'll reschedule it, you complete the remaining 15 minutes of the interview. We know that like you had a power failure and all those things, blah blah blah. And then, like as I said, right, you can see like even before beginning the interview, they were asking references, and they sent an email. I will share those things as well. Let's play this out, like, and it's already past 30 minutes. We might come to an end of this episode, and we will play the truth or dare once the callers join in.
Between what is epic versus what is story, and what are improvements?
Try to include that.
But here actually there are not much of developers. There are few developers. Mostly they are like systems engineering team. That's a challenge on how to tell them how to break it down, and all. So we can do that, but still we need like a strong voice and repetitiveness to say that okay, this has to be followed in this way. Due to time constraints, I'm not able to do that. How would you kind of like convince these teams to make sure they follow this process, to note down the complexity which will benefit you in bringing out the reports? Let's talk about version control, right? I mean, how can you tell me like what is the mechanism you followed in terms of version control of configuration versus software, and how would you kind of like manage that whole chain of a request right from the change request or Jira ticket to code.
Bang! This is how I leave. You bored me to death, man. I'm for sure. So let's see that. This was the email. I'll read it out. Hi, JK. I hope you are doing well. I wanted to reach out to see how the interview went with the hiring manager today. Also, I wanted to see if you had new numbers for your references. Thank you. Obviously, I did wanted to play this out, so I sent some fake references as well and fake numbers, and they tried to reach out. What they said and what they do is different. They say like, oh, we will not check with the references till you get the offer, and it's only for final thing, like we do that. And what the heck is that? I am going to clear the interview and I am going to do the job. Who are these references to give the credentials for me, right? So this is awkward, and there are so many other things that I have to show.
Hi JK, this is Aubrey calling with Insight Global. I hope you're having a great day so far. I just wanted to give you a call to see how the conversation went with Saket, so please give me a call back at your earliest convenience. Thank you so much.
And even this recruiter, right? Sending message like lost your call and get me again to call you back. So for 2-3 days, like they were trying to reschedule and get me back onto this, and also Gabriela was the one who was trying to follow up on that. So these are some of the funniest things that happened. And even in terms of asking for the green card copy, right? So that is where like I really lost my cool. I mean, what can I say about this? You guys. Okay. Who's the end client?
It's Albertsons.
Okay, you are just submitting it, right? And once the project is confirmation is done for background verification, I can provide.
They need your GC copy to submit your profile to the end client.
Who needs? Kforce needs my GC copy?
Yeah.
Ask Kforce to call me. Like somebody like from Kforce has left a voicemail. I tried to reach them back. They're not picking up. So I will talk to them.
Good. I was reaching out because I got your profile from Georgia IT for a hybrid role.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I just had a couple quick questions to ask you. Are you in San Antonio, Texas?
Yes.
Are you willing to relocate?
Yes.
When can you start a new position?
In 2 weeks?
And you have 13 years experience?
Yes.
Really great. And then I know Georgia IT mentioned that you were a green card holder. If I shoot you over an email, can you send me that green card copy?
Why do you need the green card copy now?
Because I have to validate that I'm an immigration specialist, and I have to validate all work authorizations before I submit candidates to the client.
Okay, but I can provide that like during background verification. Background will be done, right? Or
Yes, but what I'm saying is that we have to check work authorizations before we send candidates in case they end up having a faulty work authorization and that comes back at offer stage. We have to check before they get sent.
oh, okay. Is it legal?
Yeah, I mean, I do it for every candidate that I have, of course. I would not ask you for something that is not needed. It is my eyes only, so no one else is seeing it. You don't have to share it with Georgia IT or anyone like that. Just me, so I can validate the validity dates in your name and the card type.
Oh, okay. So it's this position is on Kforce W2, or is it like you said like corp to corp, right?
Yeah, it's corp to corp. So I got your profile from Georgia IT. So technically you would be W2 of Georgia IT.
Oh, I'll be on Georgia IT W2.
Right, is that okay with you? I think you spoke with them about this yesterday.
Yeah, I did on
It
Kforce.
goes through Kforce. So I work with Kforce, and they sent me your profile, and through me, I send it to my field partner Laura. She's the technical recruiter who's going to give you a call later this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then she sends your profile to the client. So it's Georgia IT, then Kforce, and the client.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still interested in proceeding?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then if I shoot you over an email, you wouldn't mind sharing me at least, I mean, if you need to mark out a couple things, you can, but I do need to see your name, the validity dates, and the card type.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. And then once I get that back from you, then I will have my field partner Laura go over the role more technically with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Alrighty? Alright, cool. I'll show you that email right now then.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
So that was the call, and you all can see that like email coming in through. Nice speaking with you. Please provide a GC copy. Thank you. And Vinegar Annette, am I spelling your name right? You are in trouble, lady. I was just joking. Nobody is in trouble. Like, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. And the fun part is, she said like you can redact, right? I can hide things, and what is the point in showing some document redacting it? I still don't understand. Please don't forget to share the copy. You can redact it some if needed. I can't push you until I do get that copy. Thank you. And that's a whole level of game we are playing here. So we will be extending this call-in show, but more callers joining in. But right now we had enough, I think, for this week. I will sign off for this week, and we will continue with our game show next week. So till then, bye for now.